Welcome to a new episode of the FPL.
Zekret.
Hello there, my name is Zekret, and in today's video we're going to speak about Chelsea, Man United and Burnley. We're going to discuss whether we need their players in our first drafts or we should save some players for later, and which are the best options to choose from. So go ahead and like the video and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's cook. As we noticed in the preseason, Pochettino knows how he wants to play and knows exactly which players he's gonna use. We can say that roughly 90% of the starting 11 is in his head already. So we can say that his 4-2-3-1 is gonna be as follow. It's gonna be Kepa, James, Chilwell, Colwell, and Thiago Silva. That's for the back four. And for Thiago Silva, I think the new signing, Axel Disasi, if I'm saying it right, the French center back, is gonna take off his minutes because of the age. We know Thiago Silva is very old, and the new center back came for a record fee, so he's gonna play probably. And then in the middle, you have Enzo Fernandez waiting for Caicedo to play next to him, but at the moment it's between Gallagher and Andre Santos. And in the number 10 role, it's Chukwuemeka. Sometimes it's Nkunku, but he is injured at the moment. On the right, it's usually Raheem Sterling. And on the left, it's Modric or Maatsen, and sometimes Nkunku as well. And in the number 9 for now is going to be Jackson. We know that Jackson and Nkunku plays at number 9, but Nkunku is injured, so probably Jackson is going to start the first few games. You would see a totally different Chelsea under Pochettino, very fast and full of young talents. When you take a look at the team, you will see it's full of new faces. It's like it's a team that have just fallen from heaven to compete for the title. So do I think Chelsea is a team that can compete? Definitely. The only thing that they might need is time. They are playing a fun to watch football and the young lads are linking together very well. But all that needs to be tested on an official game against a top level team. And that's exactly what's gonna happen in game week 1 when they face Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. I encourage you to invest in a Chelsea since the beginning with a player or even two. Because Liverpool in the first game, he is really not solid defensively and he will suffer in Stamford Bridge. So since Nkunku is injured at the moment, you can think of someone like Sterling or Jackson to start with. Because the one after Liverpool seems really good. And I think it's a way to dig into differentials very early in the season. For defense, Chilwell seems to be the one with the most attacking threat. We saw in the friendlies that he goes up front more often than James. And even if Colwell comes at 4.5 and seems as nailed as Chilwell, I will still go Chilwell at 5.5 because he was really impressive in the friendlies. For James, he might be a good option for some people, but not me. For me, I've been in pain for the last 2 seasons with James, and the number of 0 and 1 pointer that he got me still hurts. So no, I will not go that way. Moving on to Burnley, all people seem to ask the same question over and over. Is Burnley is the Man City of the Championship? Is Kompany is just another copy of Pep? Well, there are similarities in the possession and the number of passes and the slow build-up. For example, there is no high pressure at all from the top. They just get well centered in their own half and try to read the plays by narrowing the spaces. And by that way, they get back the ball very fast, faster than you can imagine. Kompany wants them to defend smartly, not aggressively, not to drain their energy in like a short period. It's a bit defensive as Burnley's usual mindset, but with an upgraded techniques to score goals. Offensively, he depends on a number 9 striker who usually drops back a little to free up spaces for the two fast wingers to make all the threat and goal. And they are also usually very fast with counter attacks when they recover the ball. They have like a different techniques for attacking when they have the ball and when they recover the ball. When they have the ball, it's usually a slow build up from the back and looking for spaces. And when they recover the ball, you just go as fast as possible with a counter attack. The problem with picking a player from Burnley is that usually the attacking returns are divided between the players. There is no like a main target for points. For instance, last season the number of players that were involved in the attacking returns was 21 players. Can you imagine? Burnley had a lot of good players on loan from another teams, as Tella from Southampton and Matson from Chelsea, and those players went back to their teams, so that's a problem too. I see with Kompany that the style and the thoughts are key to a good performance, but it's about the quality. The quality is the thing that will take you to the next level. So let's wait and see what they're gonna do in the transfer market and which players are they gonna succeed to keep. So if you decided to go with a Burnley player in your team, I'll tell you now who could be beneficial for you. Starting with the full backs, because they are very important in Kompany's way of playing. They do a lot of runs behind the defense and they cut inside a lot. The first one was Ian Maatsen, the left back, but he went back to Chelsea and it doesn't seem that he will come back to Burnley, so let's avoid him. The other one is Connor Roberts, and he comes at 4.5. He's an old Burnley player that we saw when they were in the Premier League 2 years ago. He's a very dangerous player, and last year he got 4 goals and 6 assists. The other defender that you might consider is Pyre. He might be in your team right now, just because he is just 4 million. In midfield, you have Brownhill, the experienced midfielder that used to play with them in the Premier League. He usually switches roles between the number 8 and the number 10, like a box-to-box more often, and he takes wide shots, and he's very dangerous. Last season, he scored 7 goals and provided 8 assists. And you have other options like Goodmanson, Zaruri, and Rodriguez. But the very interesting option is Benson, the right winger. He's a very dangerous player, and last year he scored 11 goals and provided 3 assists. He is a very good dribbler and provides amazing crosses, but sometimes he comes off the bench, so he is a minute risk somehow. For Manchester United, the truth is I'm a Man United fan, so I'll do my best to be objective on that matter. The summer signings were very good, but I still believe that Man United should add more signings. For example, we don't have a good right back. Even if Ten Hag is fine with Dalot and Bissaka, we're not. Varane is an injury prone and Lindelof is fine as a first sub, but still they need to add one more defender on this squad. Who is the backup for the 32 years old Casemiro? Literally no one. There are talks about Mrabat and Goretzka. I hope it comes true. I'm optimistic about Onana, Mount and Haaland. They are the right players in the right positions, and Manchester United really lacked players in that positions. The fixtures are really great, 5 home fixtures in the first 8. Maybe it is the best run to consider. Given that it is the second year for Ten Hag and the team will maintain a level that we can guarantee. So I think Man United's choices are more safer than Chelsea's choices. The options are a lot and it's really a headache for FPL managers to choose from. Starting with the defense, a lot of people will go with Onana at 5 million and that's to save 0.5 million instead of Shaw. I think both of them are great options. Onana is good with a saved point and Shaw is probably gonna get you a bonus points and sometimes he gets you an attack and return as well. And the cheapest defender is Wan-Bissaka at 4.5 million, and for the likes of it he seems to be nailed, but it's not 100% guaranteed with the presence of Dalot. So what I suggest is you can just ignore Wan-Bissaka for now and pick one from Luke Shaw or Onana. In midfield, you will see the combination of Rashford and Bruno Fernandes in a lot of teams. For me, Rashford is my first choice. He will play up front until Haaland is back from injury. It will be between him and Sancho in the number 9, and if he's not playing in the number 9, he will take a place on the left. So it depends more on who is on the bench. Is it Sancho or Garnacho? If it is Garnacho, he will play centrally in the number 9. If it's Sancho, he will play on the left. And we know that he is dangerous on both of them, so that makes him the first choice for me. And that rules out Garnacho and Sancho for me because they are minutes risk and probably they're gonna fight for the position. Even though I think Garnacho is more of a fighter than Sancho and that he will fight more for a nailed spot in the starting 11. Nobody is talking about Anthony, even after seeing that he's nailed, and probably no winger in Man United prefers to play in the right but him. He's just 7 million with a decent contribution in goals, and he could be a massive differential. Bruno Fernandes is a great choice. He is a 90 minutes man on penalties, some set pieces, and the great value comes that he is just 8.5 million. The only problem is that he's switching rules a lot with Mount, so he drops back a bit and Mount drops back a bit, and they keep switching in the number 10 role, but still he creates a lot of chances and he is the best playmaker in the team. But will you get him and will you triple up on Man United, or are you gonna save a spot for Haaland when he comes back from injury? We saw that he came at 7 million, and I think that's a very decent price for a Man United attacker who's gonna probably be nailed as a number 9. He's the only number 9 in Manchester United, and he will get plenty of chances from Bruno and Mount, so I think he might be explosive when he comes back. And speaking of the chances, what are the chances of reaching 100 subscribers on the channel before the deadline? I hope you guys help me out with your likes and subscriptions, and I hope you liked today's video. And until next time then, see you.